So I'll be moderating the first panel here and to chat through. This is great. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Thank you. Well, really great, mate.
Doing all right?
Yeah, so
good. Fantastic. Well, why don't you each give a brief introduction, and then from there, tell us a little bit about your history. It's really, really fascinating. It's something we were chatting back about stage that I haven't heard before. So Ed, why don't you kick things off?
Sure. My name's Ed. I actually came from the Web 2 space, run a Web 2 marketing agency for about 12 years, transitioning to Web 3 about a year ago or so. Really enjoying my time here in Web 3, all the great people I've been meeting, including a lot of these guys here and some of our other members who are out here in the crowd. Got involved with Mutant Cats back last September, and we have definitely an interesting story to tell you guys today, and really happy to be here.
My name is Agustin. I come from a different space. I come from the self-employment space. I started with sneaker reselling. I was doing all that, and then suddenly one day we just jump into the NFT space. We just find it really interesting, really similar. It has some similarities, so we just jump in, and I was like, really like, I don't know how to say, like, yeah. Here's the thing, like I was really emotional about how the space was. I really liked it. So I just jump in, I meet these guys, I meet the Mutant Cat project, and I just fell in love with it. Here's the thing, I'm working with them like every single day for the past 8 months. And it has been a journey from my start till here, 8 months of 24 hours job. That was really, really nice. That's me.
Hi everyone. My name is Svet, and I've been a professional money manager all my life. And one day my son showed me NFTs, and I just stumbled on the Mutant Cats, and one thing led to another, and now I'm part of the board and of the DAO.
Ed, why don't you tell us exactly what Mutant Cats is and how the DAO itself was formed as an NFT project?
Sure. So Mutant Cats is a 10,000 NFT collection, a 10,000 token collection, based off little JPEGs of mutated cats. Not monkey pictures, cat pictures here. So that's our deal. It's originally started as a pretty basic project, right? It was created by an anonymous development team. We don't even know who created the project. We all kind of got into it at the same time. We got in really early as just community members. We were all token holders. It was created by an anonymous dev team as a fractionalized art DAO. So that was their initial intention. That's how they minted the project and how they marketed it. And we were essentially going to be buying cool cats, which is why we were Mutant Cats, and we were going to put these cool cats into a fractionalized art.vault, and we were going to fractionalize it into a token, which we called Fish at the time. And that token was going to be distributed to all holders when you stake your cat into the contract. That was an interesting process that we went through because, again, at the time it was NFT summer. It was hype. Everyone was like going crazy about NFTs, but no one was really like digging deep into it and trying to figure out exactly how these things work. Like if the tokenomics are sustainable, if the project really had a good vision beyond just like the hype train that was kind of pushing it into the forefront of the NFT space. And we quickly learned that there was maybe some missing pieces to all this components, and we had this development team that we were working with, and they were in the early stages of the process. They were always there. They were like on top of things. They were in Discord with us all the time. They were talking, hyping up the project, telling us all these amazing things that were going to happen, and then it didn't quite always work out. But in the beginning, there was so much hype in the project. I mean, it quickly ran to like 3-4 ETH on the floor, and people were just buying it like crazy. And so everyone was kind of overlooking some of these more maybe problem areas of the project. It was kind of getting brushed under the rug a little bit. And from there, we kind of went into like we started to realize developers might be up to some weird stuff, right? Yep. So they quickly, maybe too quickly, tried to launch a second project. They kind of did like a follow-up drop, and maybe Yakuza could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, basically we started, there was some signals like this, they were anonymous, they were really hyping up the project, everything was great, the community was there, everyone was awesome, but then suddenly, you know, we start to lack some communication from them, there was some rough times, and they suddenly come back and say, hey, let's drop a second collection. It was rough, they did an action, they sell out just because the hype the project had, everyone was so hyped, they sell another 10,000 NFTs, and then, sorry, 9,000 NFTs, and then after that, just blank noise, like no one's there. We tried, you know, to communicate, they were popping up like once a week, once each 2 weeks. It was hard, and from that moment, you know, all the community members, some of them speak more than others, but all the community members were like, okay, now we have, you know, we are on the same boat. We are on the same team. We want this project really to succeed. So this is what we have to do. Forget the old devs. Let's take what we have, and luckily we have, and we secure a large amount of the funds from the means, the whole NFT collection that we bought. We start to buy cool cats, as he said. We bought punks, we bought bored apes, mutant apes when they were really cheap. So now we secure all of them just for the community. And here's the thing, with all that secure, we just now need to start to build with the community. So here's where the DAO start to make sense. Everyone, you know, we have like so many voices, but little by little, you figure out, okay, we can do this, we can do that other thing, and that's exactly where we are right now, like building into the space.
It's a really remarkable story. I think it shows and highlights the way in which DAOs are supposed to operate, which is by and for and of the community. So having a scenario where the community, and when we were chatting, you were all just started as holders, right? So,
yeah.
So talk a little bit about that process of actually converting and saying from a holder, recognizing the fact that as a community project, being and ensuring the greater good, a lot of times you have a situation where the disproportionate amount of work that you did for the greater good of the community is actually represented, and that type of participation, all of the members benefit from that. And so just talk a little bit about how you formed that, how you found each other, how you ended up creating and said, okay, we're really going to do this, and really, you know, really do the greater good for the community of the mutant cats.
Well, I'll take that. So the original devs created the DAO funds were in a Genesis wallet, and there were a lot with 7 multi-signers, and they I don't know if they did their math wrong, but there were 3 community members and 1 moderator and 3 devs on that multi-signer wallet, and the moderator turned to be a very nice guy, and one day he came to the 3 community members and said, the devs are running the project. So we basically, with the power of the 4/3, kicked the old devs out of the Genesis wallet. We had about 1,000 ETH in it. And as I mentioned, you know, my previous background is in money management, and it always comes to me as a, as a fiduciary duty. What do you do when when something like that lands in your lap? So I, as a multi-signer from day one, have really been focused on making sure that we circled the wagons around the vault, and how we put proper guardrails that the funds cannot be stolen, that there is a proper documentation, and so on and so forth. And I think that's where we're gonna go next. Probably is really the legitimizing the DAO through creating an LLC structure, an operating memorandum of how all these things work, because at the end of the day, the DAO is just floating in a vacuum. There is no legal structure behind it at the moment.
So if I owned a mutant cat, tell me how I can participate in the DAO right now.
Well, the cat is a token of the DAO. 1 cat, 1 vote. So every major decision, including every financial decision in the DAO, is put through a Snapchat vote. The Snapchat system connects your wallet, counts how many cats you have, and you put the vote in. And now the voting system is not, the DAO are not perfect democracy because it's very hard to get engagement to a very high level, but we try to get votes to at least 15 to 20% of all the holders before we actually make a move on a specific strategic decision.
Yeah, that's great to see. I mean, in my personal experience, it is challenging. Sometimes you get sub 30%, and the question here is, it's really up to the individuals to participate on what they have to say. So can you talk a little bit about what the DAO actually does? Do you actively manage the treasury? Are you buying and selling other NFTs? Talk about your aspirations around the entertainment components of what you're looking to do around the IP.
Sure.
I'll take the first part if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
So we, sometimes it's better to be lucky than smart, and we were lucky. The DAO bought in the fractional vault. We had 30 mutant apes, 3 bored apes, a punk, a fidenza, and a lot of other very valuable NFTs. So once we kicked the devs out, we had to deal with the fractional vault. So we used the funds in the Genosis wallet to actually buy out the fractional vault. It was during the time that the whole ape ecosystem was pumping, so we were afraid that we're actually going to get somebody to come in, and the value of the vault was about 800 ETH. So nobody came, so we secured all the NFTs. We transferred them into the Genosis wallet. Now, as the Bored Ape investment grew in value, we realized that we really need to secure our future and not be only invested in one big project. So we divested about half of our mutant apes. We still keep the 3 bored apes, and we also sold a big chunk of our ape coin, which came from that ecosystem. So the way I see it as a treasurer of the DAO is we're keeping about 1/3 of our assets in USDC, 1/3 in liquid ETH, and 1/3 into NFTs.
And I know just have a few more minutes, so talk a little bit about the entertainment aspects of what you're looking to do.
Sure. So, we've had a long journey as a DAO, right? So in the beginning of the DAO, we were this fractional art project, and we were trying to figure out what to do with that. And we had this fish token I mentioned earlier, which slowly started to hyperinflate. And we realized that, oh my God, what are we going to do with this token? It's dragging out our project. People were abandoning ship. They were leaving the project because they bought this fish token at $15, $10, $8, $9, $5 as it was just like sinking and sinking and sinking. Finally, it got down to like a few cents, and people were just like, this token sucks, this project sucks, never wanted to leave the project. And that's when we decided as a DAO to like get some legal help, right? So we hired a lawyer. We said we should incorporate the DAO. We should try to legitimize everything. And through that process, realized all the security concerns with NFT tokens and the distribution of them, and very quickly tried to eliminate the token from the ecosystem to try to figure out. And then, of course, that left us with the problem of, okay, now that you got rid of this fractional art component, what does your DAO do? What does your project do? Like, what is the point of all of this? So then we decided, okay, well, we got these cool cats, these cute little cats. Let's make some IP. Let's start creating a brand. Let's start creating some stories. And we hired a professional comic book studio to start helping us write some studios within the national best-selling graphic novelist and some artists from Marvel and DC, which is in production right now. It's going to come out probably in about a month. From there, we'd like to take this IP that we're creating, and we want to start shopping it to other studios, maybe do an animation. We have a large plot in Sandbox, which we're going to be building out a huge social hub experience and some games. and you know, a lot of other IRL crossover work that we're trying to accomplish, which one of our other board members, who is so graciously here filming us, was going to be talking a little bit later. You know, in fact, the DAO actually voted on this board, so all of us are here because the community asked us to be here. We all got voted into these positions. The board actually is composed of 5 people, so it's not just the 3 of us. We have our lovely Godi here, who can wave, who's also on the board, and then Johnny over here, who will be speaking a little bit later. And without them and without everyone and without the community, we wouldn't be where we are today. You know, now we're a healthy DAO sitting on a $5 million treasury, and that can really build out this brand and this IP to try to do something interesting with it.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic. It's really great to hear. When I started with my introduction, a little bit about building in DAOs. It's really fascinating to be able to see good actors be able to develop, provide compliance and structure to the larger benefit of the community. And I'm so glad we'll get a little bit of time to chat with some of your colleagues later. So thank you so much for chatting and telling your story. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.